Hello, Keller Williams. Thank you for joining us today for this live stream and welcome to Take Command Sketchhouse. I'm Paul Polanski with Keller Williams University, and today we have a special guest. We have Lance Loken. Lance, you want to give a shout out and an introduction?
Lance Loken with the Loken Group here in Houston, Texas.
Excellent. So we have some excellent content for you, continuing on with our Command live stream series here. And we're going to jump into some of the marketing aspects of Command and really give a deep dive here. Now, to start, we have Slido. So if you're on the page, you're actually watching this live stream. To the right of the video, you can actually, you'll have a place to actually put questions and ahas that you can enter there. We definitely want to hear from you, and we'll answer those questions at the end. You can also go to slido.com and put in the code #D195, and that'll allow you to watch this full screen and ask your questions via a mobile device or something else. So we definitely want to hear from you. Now, we won't necessarily get to all of your questions because there is a limited amount of time we have, but on Thursday, we actually have a dedicated Q&A live stream that we're going to do for about 30 minutes. So if we missed your question here, you can ask it then on the live stream at 2:30 p.m. Central on Thursday. Or you can always email support@kw.com, ask them any questions, submit any bugs, and just put in feature requests in general. So that's a really good resource for you to use there. All right, let's talk agenda really quickly. We're going to talk through Sketchhouse, which is our marketing platform here in Command. We're going to talk through editing templates, creating marketing materials, and using landing pages, which is a second app in Command that is going to work in conjunction with Sketchhouse to really publish web pages. So it's a pretty exciting agenda today. Let's jump right in. Let's start with the basics, and that's how to log in. So to log in, you're going to go to agent.kw.com if you're in the Command Lab. And just use your regular login credentials for KW that you use for MyKW, KW Connect, or Kelly, and that'll get you right in. All right, let's get into Sketchhouse. And so now that you're logged in, let's give a little intro to Sketchhouse. So if you'll go to my screen really quickly, I wanted to cover a few things here in Command. So the first thing, when you log in, you're going to get to this dashboard. The first thing that I wanted to call out before we jump into Sketchhouse, there is a labs button at the bottom right of the screen. So all of this is still the labs. So the second part of this live stream today is landing pages. That's actually, folks in the Command Lab don't even have access to that yet. So that's very new. So things might go wrong in the system while I'm demoing. So just keep that in mind. If you're going along with this or using Command, if you run into any bugs or have ideas for how we can make it better, use this Labs button at the bottom right of the screen, open it up, and give us your ideas. Don't forget there's a paperclip there. If you want to attach a screenshot or some sort of file, that really helps the Labs team get the best feedback possible. The second thing I wanted to call out, so on this dashboard, we're going to be working with Sketchhouse, but that just went through a name change. So it used to be called Sketchhouse, then it was Designs. We're going back to Sketchhouse. So you're going to see Designs on your end, but that will change by family reunion. I just wanted to address that so you're not confused on your end. So just click on Designs and you can follow along with the content that we're going through today on the demo. Now, just having pulled that up, Lance, how have y'all been using this on your team? I just want to get some input from you and hear some of your experiences.
Sure, absolutely. So our marketing department uses this quite extensively. And I was talking to Danielle yesterday, who's one of our graphic designers, and she said it's one of the most simple and intuitive email builders out there. Without any training, she was able to open it and start building right away. So I thought that was fantastic news because she's used a lot of different platforms. And for this to be as simplified as possible for the new user or for somebody that doesn't have a lot of marketing background, thought that was pretty awesome.
Absolutely. And even with that, I mean, this is a work in progress. It is really easy to use, and it's only going to get better from here as we get more people in the lab and just more people getting their hands on it and sending feedback. So that's pretty exciting to hear. So let's actually jump right in and take a look at what we're seeing in Sketchhouse. So if you look, the first thing you're going to see is on this Sketchhouse dashboard is My Sketches. So that's everything in your personal design library. So just as you're creating, it'll show up here. The next thing I wanted to call out is the KW Sketchbook. So if you click on the KW Sketchbook, right now it's kind of some test items in here that they're testing through, but by the time everyone gets access to Command, you're going to see some preloaded templates in here that our marketing department's working on. So you don't just have to start from scratch. You can get a baseline, and you can then click on the 3 dots here on any of these and copy to My Sketches, which then puts it in your sketches, which you can then do whatever you want to with. So it's pretty exciting that there's going to be a little bit of stuff to work with, and that list is just going to grow as we move forward with Sketchhouse. The second thing I wanted to call out is you don't have to use one of these preloaded templates. There's a Create Custom Template button here at the top right of the page you can click on, and you can just start fresh. So it's going to ask you if you want to select a canvas type, and basically what it's saying is, do you want to create a live web page or a web page template? Do you want to create an email template? Or there's a really focused market neighborhood snapshot here. So, we've been using Kelly to share neighborhood snaps and everything. This just lets you really control the template that you're using for that, and it's really focused on that one skill. So for our purposes here in this demo, let's actually move on. So we already moved through utilizing the KW Sketchbook. We showed you how to create a sketch. Let's go into editing a sketch. We're going to choose one from My Sketches. I kind of built a little library here that we could use, and I'm going to go into this branded home template here. Now, when this loads up, you're going to see that I've already added a few things, but I wanted to really call out here the view first of all. So when you're using Sketchhouse, by default, when you're editing a web page, which is what we're doing right now, we'll get into email a little later, but for now, you've got some different views here depending on what your goal is. So right now we're editing it's really optimized for desktop, but here at the upper top left-hand corner, you can click tablet mode. It shrinks it down and you can optimize your marketing piece for that device. And finally, say you're making a Facebook ad template here. You can actually go in here, select the phone, because most people look at Facebook on their phone. And you can just optimize your marketing piece for the mobile device, and that'll just really help you narrow this down and really be focused on what you're creating here.
Hey, Paul, Danielle said that was really important to see all the different designs, and it really enhanced the value to see how everything was displayed between the mobile and the desktop version. So that was really cool.
Absolutely. I mean, think about just designing, spending all this time designing a desktop version, and then someone's looking at it on their phone and everything's squished together and you can't really see it. So that is really huge, and I'm really, really excited about that one as I start making sketches on my end as well.
Yep.
Now, with that view, there's a couple other options that we have here as well. So when we actually want to start customizing these things, and actually I want to address a question really quickly. So if I create a web page, will it generate the HTML code for me to copy into my WordPress site? So that kind of goes into the next thing I wanted to call out here. As you're working with these templates, we have this little button up here called Download HTML. And so basically what that's going to do is you click on it, it's going to put that download here that you can then open up as this page here, and you'll have the HTML that you can then work with on that. So I just wanted to call out that we have this button here for that purpose. So if you're going to be using the HTML for this and putting it somewhere else, you can definitely do that as you're creating. Now, we also have a full screen button. So if you wanted to make this full screen and see exactly what you're looking for, you can click that and it'll open it up really big for you so you really have more surface to work with. And finally, let's jump into the actual components here of the sketch, the editor itself. So first, let's talk layout. So in here, you can actually start creating sections. So you can create one section, two sections, however you want here set up. And this is a drag and drop situation. So say I just want to add a blank section here. I can just click on this and drag it in, and it just creates a section for me. I can do the same thing, and make 3 sections on one, kind of row here. So there's a lot of flexibility here. And again, as I'm moving through this, use that feedback and let us know what we're missing here if there's something that you really want to see. In addition to this, we also have grid items. So right now you can throw these grid items in, and we'll get into the customization of all of this in just a second, but it just throws some grid items in, same with list items. So that's just creating the sections. Now we want to actually put some content in here as well. So when we go to the content tab up here, this is where we can actually start throwing text in here. So maybe we want to put a whole text section. Maybe we want to put an image in here. And I'll go back to that image in just a second. Maybe we want to throw a link as well. So I'm just showing you the different things you can do to drag and drop some of these features into the different sections you're setting up. Now let's deep dive for just a second. I wanted to address the text situation. So if you can highlight any of these words, you can type in them, and again, you have your bold, italic, and all that. You can create a link here, if you wanted to link out to something else. And finally, we can also come in here and create some merge tags. So if you use the drop down here that has personalize, you're going to have some options for like first name, last name. That way, when you start creating smart plans and building marketing, like your 36 touches or 33 touches, 36 to connects, you can put these merge tags for first name, last name, and it'll correspond with the contact that you're adding to that smart plan. And also, you'll see some tags in here. Oh, go ahead, Lance.
Sorry. Our marketing department also said right for that stuff that the advanced typography and border options are available and simple and easy to work with, like letter spacing and line height. So that's another big advantage to using this product.
Absolutely. And so when we get out of these merge tags, I'll show you exactly what Lance is talking about. So if we select a section here, you're going to notice that we don't have a lot of control over here. We can't do much. But then you're going to see this paintbrush at the top right of the page. So this is going to give us a lot more control over that section that we're working with. So this is where you're going to open up the different dimensions that we're working with in this section, the margins, the padding. This is what Lance was talking about. So you can use this to really customize the text that you're adding into this section. Then we get down to the typography section, and you can start editing the font, the letter spacing, font color. If you go down here, you'll see alignment. There's even text shadow that you can use to really get down there and customize it. And here's that line height as well. Then finally, we get down into the decorations section, and this is where we can actually add backgrounds. So we can add a background color, borders, border radius, border, just in general how thick it is, the style, the color. And also, it's a little hard to see here in the bottom right corner of the page, but you can actually add a background image in here, and you can make it repeat and add an attachment and things like that. So there's a lot to come in here and customize. We don't have time to go through each component and show you exactly what it does, but this is where we want you to go in after the live stream and just start playing with some of this functionality. How's it working for you? Is it as easy to use as you'd like it to be? And give us your suggestions on that. And so let's move on to the image here. So we added an image earlier. I wanted to show you really quickly if you ever want to delete anything that you add here, just click on it. And you can hit this trash can icon to delete it totally. And if we want to re-add an image in here, this is where we can actually go to, we can click to browse and say I wanted to add an agent headshot. You're going to see it load up on the right-hand side of the page. This is kind of a little temporary photo library. It won't stay in there permanently, but as long as you're working in here, you can load in as many images, and you just click on it, and it loads it in to the actual template. Now, once you do that, you can then drag the corner, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, and really work with that image there. And then you can also, in conjunction, use the paintbrush to really deep dive into customizing how that image looks. So I just wanted to call that out as well. Now, finally, I wanted to call out, and so that about does it for the content. There's also link blocks and things. Just go in there and play with it and see and let us know your feedback. But here's the really cool part that I really liked, and that is the widgets section. And that's what I used to build this kind of blank, this template that we're using today. And here's what you're seeing on the screen right now. So you're going to see on the right, I click the widgets column. And you'll see the different widgets that we have access to, and you'll recognize a lot of these. You know, there's agent branding, branded header, but you're also going to see local insights, which we've talked about on previous live streams. You're going to see market snap, so that's the neighborhood data that we've seen in Kelly, so you can add sections for that. And really, you're just going to drag and drop these into the template, and it puts a placeholder in the template. Now, notice I just added a market snap to this screen. But I didn't get to choose the neighborhood or the zip code that it's using or edit any of this information. That's not what Sketchhouse is being used for here. You're really just building the template, and then when we get into landing pages, that's where we're going to start editing the information on the template that you've created here in Sketchhouse. So, and just to call a few things out as well, you're going to see things in here like marketing strategies, if I throw that in there. This is like a cool little widget that is mirrored on Real Mailers and Lead Accelerator. So when you start running direct mail campaigns, you can kind of show your clients how you're going to be marketing your direct mail campaigns and just show them this widget that'll be working, and it'll show the targeting and all that. So there's a lot you can do with this. There's qualitative assessments that we're going to learn more about as we get into listing consultations. And there's just a lot in here that you can do. So play with those widgets. Let us know what you think. And it's just really exciting to see a lot of this come together. And now we're actually going to put it all together when we get into landing pages. So anything you want to add to that, Lance, from just the tool itself in Sketchhouse before we move on to landing pages?
Sure. Well, we've noticed a few things that are still not working, and we've already submitted them to KWRI. Using the tab function doesn't work in this program yet, and they're already working on it. So I'm sure by the end of this week, that'll be functioning. And then another one is utilizing the link function. We're having a bit of a challenge by that, but listening to what you just said, maybe the link function will work in the landing pages versus doing this, because this is more templated.
For sure. And so I just wanted to call out a few things he just mentioned here. So if we go into a text or just to any section and we go to that paintbrush that we showed you to really dig down into the design aspect, what marketing folks were saying is they want to be able to tab through these fields without actually being able or having to click around with the mouse. It just makes using the marketing editor a lot easier to use. Now, I don't know if they've been, making moves on the system since you sent that feedback in, but I am now seeing that I'm able to tab through a lot of this. Now, it is skipping a few of the things, but it looks like they are utilizing that feedback that you put in, and they're already thinking through how we're tabbing through all of this. So it is exciting to see some movement on that.
Right, exactly. We gave them that feedback yesterday, and lo and behold, it's already started today.
And I tell you what, we're getting command ready for family reunion, and we're just moving fast and furious with this tech. And I don't know if you joined our live stream last week, it looks, if you look at command now, it looks totally different. They're really reorganizing a lot of things. They put a new UI kit on, and it's just really exciting to see how everything's developing. So, all right. So, to finish out with Sketchhouse, just make sure up here at the top right-hand side of the page, when you're done editing, you can actually come in here and name your sketch and save to My Sketches, and then you're going to be able to create collections within your My Sketches section that you can then sort these underneath. So I'll make this a web template and save to My Sketches, and now I can go back in and access this at any time and edit it. All right, let's move on to landing pages. So this is the big piece. So actually, I actually want to go back. One thing I did forget to talk about was emails. So we just talked about web templates. So editing your emails is going to be about the same thing, except there's a couple different options here. So I'm going to go to Create Custom Template, and this time we're going to choose Email, and we're going to create a blank sketch. So it's showing up blank. The first thing you're going to notice is for emails, it's only optimized for tablet and for mobile. So that's the first thing to keep in mind. The second thing is we don't see the widgets tab anymore on the right-hand side of the page. So those widgets are really just for actual web pages that you're going to be publishing and all of that. So for emails, it's really just a little more straightforward, and we just have the layout options and then the content options that you'll be creating these templates with. And then, of course, the paintbrush and all that works. And finally, we have a send test email option here. So if you click send test email, you can actually email yourself one of these templates, email templates, just to see what's going on and how it looks on the end, on the back end there. And just make sure to put a to email and a subject. It auto-fills the email address that you have connected in here. Now with that, one caveat, as you're sending emails through command, we're utilizing MailChimp for these emails. So right now, you have to have a MailChimp account created and connected in command settings to be able to send these emails. So if you don't already have a MailChimp account, just go to MailChimp.com and just create a free one. And you can just hook it up by going to your name at the top right-hand side of the page, click Settings. It'll land on the Connected Applications page, and then you just go to the MailChimp section, click Connect Account, and log into your MailChimp account. That'll connect it, and that'll allow you to utilize MailChimp to send these test emails. It's kind of the same thing with sending offers in the opportunity system. We just have to have that MailChimp account connected. All right, and so that about closes it out for Sketchhouse. Let's move on to landing pages now. So on the left side of the page, I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and now let's go to landing pages. So if you're in the command lab, while you do have access to Sketchhouse right now, you'll see it as designs. You won't see landing pages for the most part. Only a few people have access to this. So it's in a little tricky state right now. They're really working on it, getting it up and running. So I'm actually going to switch over to the QA system to show you how everything's working here. But to access landing pages, you'll see the icon on the left side of the page, and you'll be able to click in there to see the landing pages application. Once you get access to that, they will be opening up a lab for this here very shortly. I'm going to go into QA, and this is what it looks like with some loaded in here. There's a lot of test items, but one thing I wanted to show you was, so this is what we're going to be using to now use the templates we've created, the web templates from Sketchhouse. We're actually going to publish them in here and just really edit the information that you're seeing. So you can come in here and create one from scratch, and you're just going to give it a name. And then now here's where you're going to go in and actually select the template that you want to utilize for this landing page. I'll use branded Your Home because that's what we set up earlier in the Sketchhouse demo. So you're going to notice that it brought in the widgets that we've added in here from Sketchhouse, but now we actually get to edit the information that we're seeing here. So if you go to the branded header per se, you come over here to the right-hand side of the page, and this is where you can say, add the test verbiage, because that's all I really know how to do here in these demos is test. So you can apply changes at any time, and then you can actually see it change on the landing page itself. Same thing with the background image. Same thing with the headshot. We can just click in here, add our agent headshot, and then as soon as we hit apply changes, you're going to see it load into that profile area there. And then finally, the name, phone number, email address. So whenever you're done, you can hit that back arrow, and each of the widgets that you've added in this template, you're going to be able to go in and customize, like which postal code or neighborhood do I want to use for local insights? What information do I want to add to the Your Home Your Home template? So there's a lot of customization in here. You're adding the actual information. Same thing with lead form. You can put a header or agent branding. You can go in. That's what I have down here at the very bottom of the page, where I have kind of my footer information and my contact information. Now, one of the cool things about these landing pages is you can put this contact form, so you can publish these anywhere you want to, and the leads that go through this system will actually pull right into Command. So very exciting. When we'll get you you all access to this lab here very soon. We'll start getting agents in there, and then by family reunion, we should have this up and running, and it'll be pretty exciting. And that's tentative. This is lab, so take any dates or anything with a grain of salt. All right, so that about does it. From here, you can save as draft. You can publish, so you can actually make it live and then share it however you want to. And if you hit this back button, it takes you back to your list, where from here, you can actually unpublish pages using this status button. And it'll ask you if you want to, are you sure? You'll see the link to the actual page and URL once it's published. And you also have some options here like deactivate, which you can do with the toggle switch. So just a few things with landing pages there on the dashboard. And that's really all there is to it. In landing pages, you're just customizing those widgets that you set up in your templates. So with that, anything you want to add to that, Lance, with the actual landing pages piece?
Well, we're real excited to be able to start tracking leads based off of the marketing materials that we send out, and that mechanism provides that opportunity for us.
Absolutely. Just create a quick lead capture form. Throw a Market Snap widget in there to customize for each client, and you got a really nice looking template that you can get some leads from. So pretty exciting to see everything coming together.
It is.
All right. So with that, I know we're hitting the 3 o'clock Central Time mark, but I still want to get some questions in. So we're going to go a little over, and we're going to address some of these questions that we've seen come in. And so yeah, let's jump right into it. All right, first question, can you make videos in Sketchhouse? The answer to that is no, not yet. But what I want you to do is actually go into feedback. Let us know how you want that to work. Do you want to actually make a video? Do you want to be able to just add a video? Let us know what you want to see with that. Put the feedback in, and you can also go to ideas.kw.com, see if someone else has added that, and you can vote up the idea or not. Again, that's ideas.kw.com. Anyone can go there and give brand new ideas. All right, if I design for a phone, will it automatically adjust for a desktop? Yes, it should. So if someone does happen to see that email on their desktop, it will kind of spread back out on the desktop version. I just don't know what that's looking like right now. We have to test through that and see how that's working. All right. Will there be options for creating buyers and seller packets? Absolutely. So yes, you're going to be able to build listing presentations, any of those packets you want through landing pages, through Sketchhouse. There's also going to be a whole listing consultation application within Command that'll really streamline a lot of that. So that's definitely something they're working on right now. And Sketchhouse and building these templates is going to play a big part in that. Another question, will we be able to create postcards in the future? Yes. So right now, it's kind of version 1. So you can kind of see that we need to go in here. There's a lot we need to fix. There's a lot of functionality that we need to make more user-friendly. But that is the plan. So we have Lead Accelerator plugged into the Command Lab, where you can create direct mailers and Facebook ads and social media ads in general. So yes, we want to be able to use Sketchhouse to create templates for those ads that you're running, not only the social media, but also the direct mail as well, which includes postcards. Will my entire team have access to sketches created by one team member? Yes, I believe that if we went to the Sketchhouse dashboard, they're going to be adding a team sketches tab in addition to the KW Sketchbook and My Sketchbook. So you will be able to use your team sketches and share those. And I didn't really go into sharing those sketches yet because they haven't really figured that out yet. But you'll be able to share your sketches with, I believe, anyone in the company. So, and be able to add to that KW Sketchbook. We just don't know how that's going to work yet. Is it possible to upload HTML code into Sketchhouse? So we saw how you can kind of take the HTML out and use it from there, but we haven't added a way to add it in there. So if you want to see that, that's good feedback to add. Is there an undo button? Now, I haven't seen an undo button, but what I have noticed is you can use the hotkey. So I'm a Windows user. So if I hit Control Z as in zebra, that's the automatic undo hotkey, which that works in Sketchhouse. I just don't know if there's an actual button for undo. I haven't exactly seen it on my end. Lance, have you seen that? Has your team seen that? Do you know on their end? No,
we have not seen that yet.
Yeah, but so definitely if you, for sure.
Yeah, you definitely need it. Yeah.
Absolutely. But if you have a Windows computer, you can go use Control Z, or if you have a Mac, you can use Command Z to undo anything. Are the Sketchhouse email templates going to be a part of the MailChimp campaigns? That I don't know. So the idea here is, so I don't know if you're going to be able to go into MailChimp and actually run a campaign from here. The idea is to keep everything in command. So when we add smart plans to this, you're going to be able to set up your 33 touches through command. You're going to be able to use the email templates, set reminders and tasks and all that through smart plans, which we're going to be talking about more next week on our live stream series. But the idea is to actually run the campaign through command. That way we'll get all of those insights and you'll be able to see through the Smart Plans app how your emails are doing, what your click rates are and things like that. So we definitely want to encourage you to run it all through command so that we can keep all those insights in-house and you can access those insights very easily. But again, use your feedback. Let us know how you want that to interact with MailChimp. Can you layer? Can you bring forward and have transparency options? So right now, if you look in the, I'll go to Sketchhouse really quickly. Give me 1 second to get there. And so if I go in and edit this Your Home, so there is a way to put a background in and to make it transparent. If you go to, actually, I'll go to Designs. Sorry about this. I'll just go to this test we created. And so I can actually go in this section. I can use the paintbrush and go to Decorations. And it's the very, the bottom one. If we go to Background, so you can actually add an image in the background. You can set the position. You can also resize it, make it repeat. And when you do add that image, I believe, give me 1 second. Whoa, I just did a lot of clicking, and it duplicated a lot of what I just did. But yes, there is a way that I've seen to make transparency happen. Now, the bring to front and the send to back, I have not seen. So that's good feedback to add in here. But there is the transparency option when you're adding the background images and colors. All right, when will Sketchhouse be available to everyone? I'm not exactly sure. I know that there's a goal for Family Reunion, but definitely after Family Reunion, we'll all have access to it and be able to use command. So that's about the timeline. Again, this is all labs. Nothing is ready until you tell us it's ready. And once we have a big group using Sketchhouse right now in conjunction with Contacts, Lead Accelerator, and some of these other things. Once they tell us it's ready for the whole company to have it, that's when we'll move forward with that and add some new users. All right, can we preview before publishing? For that, I would recommend the HTML page. I haven't seen a way to do it from a regular, if I go to just a regular web page template, there's not exactly a preview button, but you can always use this download HTML. And when you actually open it up, it puts it in here and you can see what that's going to look like in this form. So use that download HTML option to get a preview without actually having published. How do you unselect a widget when you don't like what it looks like? So, you can come into this template at any time. Now, if you're in landing pages, you won't be able to delete templates or the widgets. You can just customize. So you'll go back into Sketchhouse, click on any section. From here, and this is one thing I didn't exactly go into, but if you click on this cross, you can move it around. Say I want to move it to the top. You can also duplicate it if you want to do that for any reason by using this button. And also, you have the option to click the trash can at the top right once you select any of these widgets. So I can just delete that section out and it's gone. So, and again, I'll use Control-Z and it puts it right back in there. So there's the undo functionality right now. All right. Can you enter tags for images and like other SEO tactics? Right now, that functionality is not built in, but let us know how you want to see that. So that would be something for the landing pages app. Again, landing pages isn't really being used by too many people yet. It's still being designed and really put together right now. So that is functionality that they'll add in the future, because they will be actually live web pages that will want to be able to control SEO, meta tags, and things like that. But that will be coming in the future. Is it possible to pull in current MailChimp campaign templates we already use? Right now, there's not. But let us know how you want that to work. If you want to see the button in a certain place to pull those in, put that feedback in by either going to the labs button at the bottom right or ideas.kw.com. And how do you, again, that goes back to how do you unselect a widget when you don't like what it looks like. So you can always just click around or delete those widgets from there. All right, so that's about all the time we have today. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a real pleasure to go through and demo some of this. I know we couldn't deep dive as much as we'd want to. Just keep in mind, after Family Reunion, we're going to have a really heavy live stream schedule, and we're going to be able to really deep dive into some of this and delve into each of these widgets and components for Sketchhouse. So it'll be really exciting to see how that plays out once the system's more stable. So thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure. And Lance, thank you so much for joining us. It's wonderful to get your insights. And you'll be joining us tomorrow. We're doing a kind of repeat session of this for anyone who missed. And Lance is at 2:30 p.m. Central Time. And Lance is actually going to be joining us live. So I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
It'll be great. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you for joining us. See y'all later.